Welcome everybody for another fabulous 7K day. And tonight I'd like to kind of briefly summarize my system again. Sometimes as time passes, uh, uh, we don't actually duplicate the process, especially when the legs get real long and get deep, 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 deep as they're getting. And sometimes it's not duplicated enough. So we're going to have a refresher here tonight, and that's what we're going to talk about. The system that made me millions back in the 90s, and that's when I created it because we had a binary that you could place anybody anywhere. And most people would place people wherever they need to make an extra check. And that's how it happened. And because people like to make money, and they like to make money quick, and they like to make money more often. But that's not how you build a team. That's not how you build a long-standing network. That's not how you build a one another business where you're partnered up with other people and you really are helping each other. And if you listen to all the previous information about network marketing, where I joined, I learned as a corporate executive, and I came in with the right attitude that even though I had a chemical engineering degree and a master in business, and I was an extremely successful corporate executive at a Fortune 50 companies, I didn't come into network marketing thinking I knew how to do it. I said, I got to learn how. And that's the right attitude to start. And because the person that comes in here and thinks they know how to do it, I just say more power to you. Go get them. But I've learned another thing. You take advice from people who have been successful. You learn from those who've already made more mistakes than you will if you listen to them, if they're successful. There's a big if there. Okay, let me create that system for you, because much of what we have in 7K in our comp plan, part of my system is already incorporated in 7K comp plan. That means you can only place on your left and you only place on your right. And we're going to get to optimizing how you build and what you do in a second. But here's the basics. The basics is, where can you start a business? Just where can you start a business for $500 and you have an opportunity on the side while you're not quitting your job, on the side, or while you're not stopping any other source of income, to develop an extra stream of income that can give you $500 a week, that could lead to $1,000, that could lead to $2,000, it leads to $3,500 a week, that lead to $7,000 a week, that could lead to $10,000 a week, and possibly even $12,500 a week. Now, you just tell me one thing that you can start for $500 that you can do that with. So learn to ask that question to the people you're trying to partner up with. If you don't ask them that question, it won't make their brain think. And you got to get their brain turned on to making money, because we all need to make extra money. And as my neighbor said, ain't no such word as extra money. We all need to make more money. He says, if I get more money, I'm going to spend more money. And I said, well, there gets to be a point, my friend, where you get to accumulate assets. You can turn that paper stuff into real money. And that is the great delight and the end result of 7K eventually. And every person gets to benefit from that. So learn how, in your way, to transmit that information to your prospective partner. Okay? Now, I'm going to share my screen because that's the way I'm going to talk about my system. Now, what is my system? Okay? It's a real simple thing. It's not hard, because if it was hard, it wouldn't be duplicatable. Now, if it appears too simple for you, then that's okay. It works. I wrote this up back in I actually wrote it up before 1996, is when I, after becoming a student of many, many leaders and successful people in network marketing, because I really wanted to succeed. And I literally spent thousands of dollars buying their systems, buying their cassette things, going to their trainings, and buying their books and reading every one of them. I mean, I was a voracious reader because I wanted what they had. Oh, I had that fire in my belly. But I didn't want to go back to work in that corporate world. And so I came to realize that a lot of these people who are very successful in network marketing ended up making more money selling their systems, their teachings, their books, than they actually made in network marketing. Oh, well, that didn't excite me, because a lot of people can't do that. Only a few people can do that. So I looked and saw what are the similarities in all the successful people that I've come to know or know about and see their system. What were the similarities in all of those systems, or so-called systems? And I found them. The ingredients were very simple. They are not difficult. Actually, when you really think about it, they're the same ingredients for life, for just about anything we do in life. And so, the light bulb just went off in my head. And I said, okay, let's treat it like we do anything else. And I wrote it down. 2 years to learn. No matter what we do in life, I don't care if you're going to be an electrician. I don't care if you're going to be a carpenter. I don't care if you're going to be a pipe fitter. I don't care if you're going to be a machinist. I don't care if you're going to be a doctor. I don't care if you're going to be a pharmacist. I don't care if you're going to be an engineer. You got to get educated, and then you're learning. And then you got to get practical experience. You got to fail at it quite a bit. And the more times you fail and the more times you get back up and do it again, the better you're going to get at doing it, as long as you don't make some catastrophes, design a bridge and the sucker, collapses with a lot of people on it, or design a building or design a plant and it blows up the next day after it starts up. You know what I'm talking about. Well, so I just wrote it up. Basically, that's the same thing in network marketing. Now, there are some really good ingredients, and so we want to dispel first the fact that, yes, network marketing is a 70-plus-year-old industry. It started in 1954. So you can add up the years, 46 and 20, that's 66 years. Okay. So 1954 is when it started, and with Shackley, not Amway. And so it's attracted a lot of riffraff, because why? You can start up a business and you can go out and holler ground floor, get in, because anybody that really understands the people who have been successful in networking, multi-level marketing, understands that those people got in the business before those companies went through their accelerated growth curve. And that's the ones that made the big money, and that's the ones still making the big money, and that's the one who always make the big money. And the people who join after, like I did with my company, I joined New Skin in 1991, did it part-time. And that first meeting I went to had 500 people in it in New Orleans. And I was one of those 500. And a cop up in the front of the room was making $38,000 a month. And I wanted some of that. But I joined too late. It wasn't that I couldn't make it. I mean, after working it part-time and then quitting working it full-time, I quit in 94 and then working it full-time for 18 months. I only got up to about $10,000 a month. Well, a lot of you think that's a lot of money, but hey, that wasn't a lot of money. I was making more than that when I quit my job in the corporate world. And so it wasn't enough. But that's when I found out it's going to take me a lot longer to get to where I want to go with that vehicle. But I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm fortunate. God gave me a gift to evaluate business, evaluate concept, marketing, that because that's what I did in the corporate world. And so I'm able to evaluate companies and see if they have a good chance of succeeding, if they have a good concept, if they got some, it's not just a flip of the coin, or it's not one of these fleecing the flock, I call companies, one of these companies that's designed to go out of business in network marketing. And so if you've been in some of those companies, well, you don't have to worry about it. Here, we're 3.5 years old. We're already past that mark where nearly all of them fail. Are those companies designed to go out of business? Yeah, they're designed to go out of business right about that not quite 3-year point. But they have a lot of problems right there at the end where they are going out of business. Well, that's called companies that are trying to get in and push ground floor and get people going. And so, yeah, you got to know a little bit of something about your industry because it relates to your company. But see, that's the skills. And see, if you don't have those yet, then you depend on your people that are in the industry or have been successful, and you kind of depend on your support group, like me. Okay, send them to me when you got questions, because don't try to answer questions you don't know what the answers are. So just some kind of rules that we put in the game. So here's the key: when you join, you're a partner. You sit down with the people you get and say, here, look, I've been pretty successful once before. He made more money than Richard than the last one. And right now he's making more money than Richard than this one. And he didn't start at the beginning, and he's not at the top. So you got something to hang your hat on, okay? Now, you get to say here, now Richard tells you that, not me. Richard tells everybody all the time. And so I'm just repeating what he's saying, okay? Now, if you're going to be a doctor and you go 2 years and you quit, then you can never be a doctor. If you're going to be an engineer and you go 4 years and you quit, it's too hard, you'll never be an engineer. Anything in life you quit at, you'll never get there. So allow yourself the opportunity to develop the skills, attitudes, and techniques. I call it the SATs. And I coined that way back in the 90s. I coined that because that's what you need to have in network marketing. And I got it from, I had to take SATs to get into college. I had to take SATs to get in a certain level. And so did a lot of people. So what was that? Oh, those were tests. And they were studying what? My aptitude or people's aptitude. Well, you've got to have certain skills. You got to have certain attitudes, and you got to have certain techniques. Those are the 3 major ingredients that'll make you successful in network marketing. And it doesn't matter if you have any of them right now. You'll develop them. You'll learn them. And that's the key. But you've got to take time to learn them. Now, so you're going to learn and you're going to earn at the same time. So it's unlike going to school where you get hot and debt, but you get to earn while you learn. So have fun with it and don't let your attitude kick you out. Make a commitment. If you're not ready to make a commitment for 2 years to be part-time to do this business, then you're really not the partner I'm looking. You're a customer, you're a member, you want to win the lottery, you think it's a get rich quick scheme. Well, that's okay. That's fine. But I need a person I want to hook arms with, and we're going to do this together. We're going to partner up, we're going to team up, and we're going to put the shoulder to the wheel, and we're going to do this sucker. That's the conversation you got to have with the person you just enrolled in the 7K. eyeball to eyeball, belly button to belly button. Are you going to use a Zoom like we're doing here? You know, but get that conversation done. Okay. Then you share, okay, I'm going to commit to 2 years, but what's this? What I got to commit to? Well, what we're going to commit to is the job description. So we tell you exactly what you want to do. And see, I was accustomed to writing job descriptions in the corporate world because every time, you know, you hire somebody, first thing they want to know, what's expected? What's my job description? So I just wrote a simple one way back then. And it's the same thing. This is what it takes to succeed in network marketing. And it actually takes to succeed basically in, you know, when you're learning new skills, like going to college part-time. So I call this you in my Millionaires 101 class, okay, for 2 years, and put yourself there. Now, most of the training you're going to get from the company and your associated training, all your training tools, things like that. But I'm going to fill in the blanks for you. Okay. What I want to get is a commitment out of you to work with me. And you're going to give me 10. I don't want that 5. I want 10. Okay. 10 hours out of your life. Now, you're going to need to do this anyway to get all those tax benefits, because the government, for you to get all those 1099 benefits, they require 45 minutes a day, at least 4 days a week, minimum. And you got to verify it. You got to keep records that you've done that. Well, I require more than that. And so you get all those 1099 tax benefits. Okay. So that means this business isn't going to cost you a dime if you're paying taxes, because your taxes are going to pay for everything in your learning period. So it's like getting a scholarship to learn how to be a millionaire. That's pretty cool. Okay. And so here we go. I want 10 hours out of your life. Now, when you commit to me, I really want a commitment. And what I mean by commitment, I want you to commit to me, you and me, and you're going to be here 2 years from now, and you're going to put that 10 hours a week in doing this job description with me. No complaining, no bitching, excuse my word, but that's the key. No moaning. We're just doing it. None of this, oh man, it's not working. Oh, it's not working for me. Oh, your attitude is the reason it's not working. That's why I talk about attitude. So, you know, what we want to do is 2 years. Now, I want a commitment out of you, like that pig gives to you and me for breakfast. I don't want that commitment like that chicken gives us. That chicken, they just contribute to our breakfast. But that pig makes a commitment, an honest commitment. That's the kind of commitment I want you out of you with me. And that's what you have, that conversation with your new partner. What do? You're going to learn to expose the business to 5 people a day, 5 days a week. And so this is like piquing that interest. Okay. Now, I'm just asking for 5. Now, I'll come back to this in a second. If you're really ready to make some money, I'll tell you what it takes. If you're really making some, ready to make blow and go and make money like Wayne Clark did, okay, and is doing, and his team. It's not just him. There's quite a few others on it. They're doing the same thing. And so, what do you do? If you were spending more than 30 minutes to make those 5 contacts a day where you're piquing people's interest, you are doing it totally wrong. So you got to do it like we teach you. It's piquing interest. And that's it. Nothing more. You don't beg, you don't intrude, you pique interest. And I want you to sift. Okay. Now, what else are you going to do? That's only 30 minutes a day. If you take 5 days, that's only what, 2.5 hours. Well, I got 7.5 more hours. What am I doing with that time? You are learning. You are watching every video on your website. Every video. You might watch it 10 times. I don't know. But you're going to keep watching, You're going to watch the videos I send out, because I'm going to implement and add on to your training. I'm going to augment what's not in that website. I'm going to give you some advanced concepts. I'm going to give you some objection handling tools. I'm going to give you more insight into the assumed value of things. And so you're going to be watching a lot of videos, and that's going to train you. You're going to be reading. You're going to become an expert on that website. Like my wife was telling me the other day, she was saying, as I was explaining things, I wasn't even on the computer. I was on the phone talking. She says, "Baby, you know that you know that website, and you're not even looking at it." I said, "Well, I know. I can tell you every link. I can tell you where to go, what link, where to click, what to do, what it says. And if you don't know your website that well, after 2 years, you get an F in wanting to be a millionaire because you hadn't done your homework." Okay, I'm just being plain honest with you. I said 2 years. Now, what else do you do? Well, you're going to spend a lot of time doing that. But I tell you, you're going to spend at least 15 to 30 minutes every day, okay? Watching videos, learning how to improve, get those skills, attitudes, and techniques. And they all come from those videos. They all come from a few books. And you can watch them or listen to them. You don't have to read if you're not a reader. Don't worry about that. And then you attend an opportunity meeting. You can attend a Zoom. But you must attend the company's Zoom every Monday night. And if you miss it, you must watch it because they record every one of them. And so that's another one. And then you attend a wealth strategy presentation. Either you give it or you do it, or you attend one. Okay. And since I'm not giving them anymore on Zoom, I rely on the video, even if you have to watch the video again yourself. And until you can actually give that wealth strategies presentation without having that slide come up on that screen, then you haven't watched that wealth strategies video enough. That's 17 minutes worth, 17 minutes and a few seconds, quite a few seconds, less than 18 minutes. Now, the other thing you're going to do is make a list. Now, I only asked you in the beginning, since you're getting this the first day, to make a list of 100 people. And typically, and a lot of people has gotten this from me and going around everywhere telling, but I tell everybody in this, the way back 3.5 years ago, when I said it's gotten easy these days because you see this little sucker, okay, all you have to do is go to your contacts, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you look and you see how many contacts, because a lot of people say, I don't know, 100 people. Then they find out they got 600, 800, 2,000. They got a lot of contacts. Well, there's your list. Okay. But in Zach's training, in the associate training, there's a list building technique. I don't have to teach it anymore. It's right there. Same one we all taught for many, many years. Okay. And Zach also does a real good job in teaching you warm with form. Okay. And so I don't have to teach you that anymore. But you got to watch it enough and learn those things. It's in your associate training. And so you come up with this list of 100 people. Now, if I personally sponsored you, I want you to give me a list of your top 25. And I'm going to help you with that top 25. Okay. Now, I'm going to send you out if you got fire in the belly and you're there. And if you talk to 3 or 4 or 5 people and you get total rejection and you come back to me kind of sloopy, and I'm going to check with you because you probably did that in that first day. Now, if you got all negatives, I'm not going to let you talk to anybody else anymore, because you and I will show you how, since I sponsored you. And we're going to kickstart you off right. We're going to get one on the left, one on the right real quick. Because I got a little bit better skills and attitudes and techniques than you do. And so does your sponsor. If they've already become an associate, if they've already become a copper, if they've already become a bronze or silver, they got better skills, attitudes, and techniques because the proof is in the documentation. So they've already done it, or they've done it with their sponsor, and they know how to do it with you. Okay? So I can't obviously do everybody in my organization. I said who I personally sponsor, and then you duplicate this process. Okay. Now, there is times I leapfrog. You'll learn about that later in my advanced training. Leapfrogging is another whole new concept of how you extend and how you duplicate and how you build. But you will eventually build a list of 500 people. And you're going to put a lot of people in the pipeline in the process of skimming. Skimming, that's what this is. If you look at 5 people a day, 5 days a week, that's 25 people a week. It only takes you 4 weeks to go through that first list. That first month, you better be making a check or you're not doing my system right, even if you're doing part-time, okay? Or your partner hadn't, or your partner's partner is not working with you properly if you've been in this business and you don't have one on your left and one on your right, and you're pretty close to making a check. So let's get checked and let's do it right, okay? So what's the next thing? I teach you how to plan your business, because you want harmony in your business. You want teamwork in your business. You do not want arguing, fighting, bickering. I talk to that person. No, I talk to that person. No, that's my person. If you don't sponsor your business right, that's what you will end up with. Trust me. I really know the answer to that, and I learned it the hard way back in the 90s. And because I had some people that got in, they put one brother over here and the other sister over here. They're in the same family. They went to the same high school. They knew all the same friends, and they weren't making money after a while. They were in the biggest doggone family feud that you could ever imagine, because they were arguing about who's going to sponsor who on which side. Okay? You don't want that. So basically, you kind of split a business into 2 spouses, okay? One spouse on one side, one spouse family on the other side, because those spouses, family members, typically they have no contact when they were growing up. They don't know each other. The cousin of the husband versus the cousin of the wife don't know each other. That's beautiful. So man, they got their own sphere of influences. Now, if you go to a large church like I do, there's 5,000. Well, you can't put just all the church members on one side. I mean, that's ludicrous. Okay, I don't do that. But what you do is we say our Sunday school class. So everybody in our Sunday school class, if I put one person on one side, then everybody else in that Sunday school class is going straight down that outside. And we all have an agreement when we get one in Sunday school class. That's exactly how they're going to do it. Because if you put one of them on the opposite side, now you're going to have a war in Sunday school class. Or if you got a small church, what's a small church? I look at a small church as somewhere about 60 and under. Okay, 69, 70, something like that, where you don't have separate Sunday school class. You ought to have at least 3 Sunday school classes, okay? And so if you go to a small church, you better put that church, everybody in church is on the same leg. Then you go get another church, put them on the other leg, okay? That's what I'm talking about. Your work environment. If you work in an office, now if you work at Honeywell, it's not everybody in Honeywell goes there or Exxon goes there. It's everybody in your department, everybody in your group, your tight-knit group. They're your work sphere of influence. You want to maintain harmony. That's the key. That's the whole key. Okay. And so now you got to plan how to sponsor, and you don't sponsor just because you need points to make a check. You sponsor to make a one another business. That's how you sponsor. And that's the most important thing, to keep harmony and really get people working together as a team and having team goals and goals of each other succeeding with each other's work, because of the way our comp plan works. Our comp plan actually promotes that to happen with time as you're building. And so, you know, I'm going to leave you with one of the last things that I tell you that you got to have, you know, in the beginning of the system, and you got to have belief. And so You got to believe what I'm telling you. I don't care how many times you failed, how many times you tried other network marketing companies. I don't care how many times you thought you heard this same story. I'm here to tell you this is a fact. And so you got to believe. If you're not a believer, you're not going to win. You got to believe in this profession. It's the greatest entrepreneur opportunity, because you tell me another one where you can start a business for $500. You can keep your lights on. You can open that business. The engine that makes this business run is that autosaver. And that means you're buying that autosaver every month for 2 years without a question. Oh, I'm not going to buy it this month because this happened or that happened. Well, you have no concept of business, no concept of wanting to really make money. You were just trying to get rich quick and thought, man, I'm gonna join this and just win. Well, that's not how it works. You got to treat it like big business. You got to treat it like you paid $50,000 for that franchise, and that you got $1,000 a month you got to pay in electric bills, light bills, rent, insurance. None of that makes money. That's all expensive. It's all overhead. Well, this one is different. $500, you got websites, you got e-commerce sites, you got all kinds of things you could never get for $500 anywhere. And $105 to keep your lights on a bit, and you got a product of value. I mean, you'll learn the value, and if you say, well, what's that worth? It's worth $500 a week. That's what it's worth. It's worth $10,000 a week. That's what it's worth. Don't let your mind bog down. Don't let you short sell yourself with stinking thinking. That's stinking thinking. You're trying to evaluate yourself out of the greatest business opportunity that exists. So you got a product that's your overhead of your business. That's what you think of it as. Now, I can tell you, Amway did it with soap, and it was very overpriced. And, Shackley did it with vitamins, and they were overpriced. And Mary Kay did it with makeup, and it was overpriced. Tupperware did it with plastic, and it was overpriced. But you can't make money if you buy it at the discount store. It becomes free after a while, and free product's great. This kind of free product is really great. And so even if it caught on fire, you still got something of value, okay? And that's your overhead in your business. So accept that. Don't get bogged down with what's it worth, what's this. I will give you plenty of information about the exclusivity, value, and stuff that'll help you with people ask those kind of questions that you're trying to prospect. But that's also going to be part of my system. I don't let you get bogged down with those kind of people. I'm getting you to pick business runners. I'm getting you to pick partners who want to make money. I'm getting you to find some business people, business partners who want to earn, who want to run, who want to make, $2,000 a week for the rest of their life. I want you to understand that's what you're really looking for. So you got to believe in network marketing because it does work. It's a proven fact that it works. That's indisputable. Just look at the companies and the people who have become multimillionaires. And one of them's your partner. Yeah, you got to believe in the business building system. 7K has a beautiful system. And you can build it just with that system. Alibi, it'd take you a little bit longer. Or you can build it with their system combined with my system, and you're going to get it a whole lot faster. Okay. Because mine's proven over and over and over again, it always works. And that's the key. But you got to believe in it. And you got to believe in the fact that you, the person you're looking at in the mirror, you can do this. If you have that stinking thing and, oh man, I don't know. People can read. I mean, if you're around me and you think like that, I'd see right through you. And a lot of people can. Body language speaks more than any other kind of language, than verbal language all day long. Okay. When you're doing a business in global markets, you'll see what I'm talking about. I used to take people all the time to Japan, and all those Japanese are saying, and they're all thinking we got a joint venture, we got a deal made. I said, man, they were telling you no. And he said, no, they were telling me yes. I said, they were telling you very nicely, very politely, their yes meant no. But it's, all in understanding the culture too sometimes. But it's an understanding you, belief. And that's why my good old attitude, if I can find my attitude somewhere around here, it should be in here. But this is that old comp plan. Apparently my attitude went away on this sheet of paper. But it's Attitude by Chuck Swindoll. And I have you read it once when you get up in the day. I ask you to post it on your refrigerator or your mirror or somewhere. Just print it out, post it, because you should start your day off reading Attitude by Chuck Swindoll. And then just open up the Bible, and I don't care where, just grab it, open it up wherever it opens, point your finger down there, and read you about 2 or 3 verses. Start your day off every day like that. In 2 years, you will have the skills, attitudes, and techniques, if you're doing my job description, of the most powerful comp plan in the world that is proven to work already and is working big time. Just because it may not be working for you right off the bat, don't discount you for learning everything it takes within 2 years, and then in 3 to 5 years, building a huge business. And as you're doing it, a team is going to be built through you no matter what, because one of your partners is going to be building a business that sponsored you. So this may be you. And I may have sponsored you, and we may have not have just got off. You may have only sponsored one person way down here, but I sponsored another person that took off, and we took off, and you have this huge team down here. Well, you got a powerful opportunity if you're buying your coin every month, because you got thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds thousands of points there. And that's money. And so after you develop these skills, attitudes, and techniques, and then you just sponsor one person over here, and you got one over here, and maybe that person didn't do anything, but they sponsored one person, and they sponsored one person, and they sponsored one person, and this person down here starts making a $500 check. Well, that's got 500 points on one side, 500 on point. That'd be 1,000 points coming up. You already got all that mega bucks in your bank. Well, you can make $1,000 that month, because 500 to come up and make 500, 500 come up and you make 500. That person start making 500 every week, and you had nothing to do with them in the future. Well, that's an extra $1,000 a week you can make, and you just need to step up to the qualification to do it. And trust me, if that volume comes up there, you ask Bruce Harris. If you don't get on the stick and turn that 500 into 1,000, then turn that 1,000 into 2,000. You ask Bruce Harris. So you need to learn people's stories. The last thing I'm going to leave you with, you must plug in. You must plug in. Must plug into that noon call. You must plug into the leadership call. You must plug in. If you can't plug into them live, you must at least listen to one of them every week. Because if you're not engaged, you become disengaged, and you will never, ever be successful. Take it from me. I know you won't, but I want you to be. I want every person that ever hears my replay of this to make 12,500 a week, and every one of you have that potential if you just believe in yourself. You've got to believe in you. You got to believe in your company. You got to believe in your team. you'll never have an opportunity like 7K come around again. They come around so few and far between. And many people hear me many times. I remember almost a year ago when I told Richard on the call, I said, Richard, he asked me what I thought about 7K. I said, Richard, here's my true, honest business based on a lot of business knowledge and experience. 7K is the Amazon of the precious metals market. And he said, what you mean by that? I said, well, I remember a little over 20 years ago when Jeff Bezos came out and he said, we're going to sell books online. We're going to sell them at a discount. We're going to put all those bookstores out of business. And we're not even going to make a profit, at least for the first 5 years. And everybody laughed at him, including me. Okay. And, but, it's a statement he made right following that. And he said, and furthermore, we're going to get into all aspects of retail, and we're going to change the way retail is done in America and around the globe. And we're not even going to make a profit, maybe even for the first 10 years. and everybody had a guttural laugh, down deep in the gut. Well, who had the last laugh? Because see, Jeff Bezos, Amazon, put Sears, a 100-year-old retail business in America, out of business. Put Kmart out of business. Almost put Walmart out of business if they hadn't quickly reorganized, restructured, shut down a lot of stores, and got their online website up and working. They did some really backward flips to stay in business, Walmart, against Amazon. So what I mean that 7K is going to be out? Well, for the first time in history, the average person can actually own gold and silver at dealer direct pricing, and they don't have to buy 500 ounces of it, and they still get a better price if they're only buying. So they can save, they can secure their own future retirement themselves. They have that choice, and we are educating them. We are educators. We're bearers of good news, almost like the gospel as far as I'm concerned, okay? Because most people are more interested in their finances. It's harder to talk about their soul than it is about their finances. So we got the door in through their finances, and then we can tell them about the real life, okay? But here's the key. They get to buy gold and silver for the first time, and they get to make that choice. They never had it before. Now, gold and silver has been around for decades. I mean, you got Swiss America, Lear Capital, Rosalind Capital, Blanchard, Gold Line, on and on and on. All those brokers advertise, spend millions and millions of dollars advertising buy gold, and they give you all the reasons why. And a lot of people have been sucked into that. And they lost a lot of money because they just really didn't get good deals. But they knew that they really understood they should own some gold and silver. But now they have an opportunity with 7K, and here we are 3.5 years later. And instead of paying those millions and millions of dollars in advertising on TV, 7K chose to grow a business the right way, with people telling them the most efficient form of distribution, advertising, marketing that's ever existed. And that's word of mouth, because you only pay commissions to you and me when sales are really made. How about that? You don't get any better than that. And then they have turned the network marketing world upside down with this new concept of member direct marketing, and they pay out more than they keep for the first time in network marketing history. This is the highest compensation plan in the world in a networking business, but we're a member direct marketing company. So join it, learn it, stay with it, stick with it, because you're with a multi-billion-dollar company that'll be one of the largest direct selling companies in the world within the next 10 years, if not sooner. And I'm going to see you at the top. And I hope your children, you create generational wealth, because that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to help people learn to do what I did back in the 90s and be the future leaders to take this on around the world for decades and decades, so that my grandchildren can have generational wealth. And I thank you for doing that, for stepping up to the plate for my future grandchildren's grandchildren. See you on the beaches of the world as we enjoy these next few years with 7K as they plant themselves at the top of the map in this country and around the world in the precious metals market.